Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pause for Self-Care. As promised, today I will be doing a little exercise with you that I did with my support group, and I do hope that you enjoy it. So let's get into it.
In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize. We need to feel, we need to use this warmth that could make bright our lives. In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize.
Okay. So today I would like you to think about 2 or 3 childhood memories. Let's go with good childhood memories. For me, I would say thinking about my grandparents as always. My Gramps as old and unathletic that he was. My gran was the more athletic one. He would go into the garden with me at night, and we'd take our little dog for a walk on the pavement. He'd have a cigarette on the pavement, while Tiger would scratch in the grass and sniff around. And he was such a good dog. He would never run away or anything. He'd just do his scratching and what have you. When Gramps was finished his cigarette, he'd go inside, and that was that. Because he never really spent time in the front garden. He always spent time in the back garden. The kitchen had a little doggy door, so he could go out in the back garden when he wanted to and come back inside, etc. But the front garden was really out of bounds until that time of the day. And then Gramps and I would play shadow games with all the lights on in the garden. And they really had a magnificent garden and some trees that had some beautiful shadows, and we'd jump on each other's shadows and really enjoy ourselves. Granny loved walks, and when we would walk to school or go for a walk after dinner, we'd always look at the plants. And she really knew her neighborhood very well and knew the neighbors very well. So if they had something new, she would ask them for a clipping of that plant, and she'd grow it in her own garden. And one of our neighbors was like a horticulturist or something. So he always had these fabulous plants, and they'd chat often, and Granny would get her plants from the lady of the house. Gramps would chat to the gentleman that lived there, and it was just really nice. Today you can't really do that. We all live behind these high walls. But it's always nice to see something new. And my son has actually taken on the thing of bringing me a plant after he's been for his walk around the neighborhood. As a lady, I like to go to safer areas to walk. I tend to go where it's walled in or fenced in. But anyway, we won't get into that today. So it was always nice. Gardening has always been really nice for me and brings back lots of good memories. If you'd like to comment underneath the video, please do, and let me know about your childhood memories. We had such a wonderful time in my support group, all chatting about some beautiful memories from our childhood. And it was just really nice to reminisce with each other, even though we never knew each other as children. So comment below and let me know what you were thinking about. maybe you'd like to pause the video at this point and then comment and then hit play again. Okay, so if you paused, welcome back. What I'd like you to do now is think about those memories again. But I'd like you to think about maybe an issue that you have now, or gosh, we've got Christmas coming up now, and Hanukkah for if you celebrate the Jewish celebration in December. So everybody's got a different celebration, and that time of the year you tend to think about your family, and you tend to think about those good memories and wish you had them back. Well, you can incorporate those things in your life today, and you don't really need to feel sad about them either. What if you have children now? You could be jumping around the garden just like I did with my grams, playing shadow games. Or you could take your dog for a walk and let them scratch around a little bit and just enjoy watching that. You could also try some gardening. One of my support group members remembered she doesn't quite know the recipe, but she's trying to find the recipe that her gran used to make when she was young. And maybe creating her own recipe of a dish that she remembers. You know, those tastes and smells in the kitchen bring back such awesome memories, especially towards the end of the year. Christmas cake, biscuits, tastes and smells and sounds. You never really need to feel sad about it. It kind of brings that person back to you, just for a brief glimmer of a moment. Aren't those nice to think about? Bringing that childhood memory back for a moment. And not having to feel sad about it, not having to grieve. You can also use this in another way. And you can look at things that you did as a child and incorporate them into today's life. When you have a problem, you can look at it and say, how would my grandparents deal with that problem? Or how would I deal with it as when I was a child? You know that saying that you see on Facebook every now and again. How would a dog deal with that problem? He'd probably pee on it and walk away. How would you deal with it? Would you really spend time dealing with pettiness? Or would you just punch that boy in the face and walk away? Yeah, that's not the way to behave, but it'll give you a good giggle thinking about it, and maybe give you a different perspective. And that's the point of today's video. Go back and think about those good times. Yes, you may cry a little bit, but crying is good. It helps with the grief process. And yeah, we never really stop grieving, do we? I do hope that you enjoyed this little exercise and the few that I've given you on inner child work. So please do share them if you enjoyed them, and until next time, remember to pause for self-care.